There have been countless times where I'm with a couple of my mates and we're all passionately talking about a subject we're all interested in. For example, it could be soccer, right? And we're talking about all the transfer news and all of these sorts of things. And I noticed that a couple of my mates, they just keep jumping in. So as one is talking, the other one's halfway through a sentence, and then he jumps in and adds something else. And I could sort of see that on one of my mates' faces, he's a bit like frustrated and disappointed that he actually has been interrupted. And vice versa, because I see them both doing the same thing. And at times, I notice myself doing it too. I get this urge that I just really want to help someone. I just want to help them. But I realize that sometimes I just need to let them finish. Just let them speak. That is something so small, yet so powerful. And it has helped me improve my emotional intelligence dramatically. Because by letting people speak, you're able to let them finish saying whatever they were saying. And you allow them to, you allow yourself to listen to what they're saying. And then once they're finished saying everything that they want to say, you're able to formulate a response that is tailored to what they say. And I think this is a very important skill because in this day and age, especially with texting people, you could have 4, 5 different conversations with the same person at the same time. And I think we've just transferred that skill, which is hard in itself, and tried to apply it back to face-to-face social conversations. And it just doesn't have any place for it at all. And that's something that has actually, before I raised my own self-awareness to it, hindered my ability to connect with people. Because I could almost sense that they were frustrated or disappointed with what I had said if I had jumped into what they were saying. Because at the end of the day, no one likes being interrupted. I certainly don't. And I'd be very surprised. I know there are some people who do like being interrupted, but I'd be very surprised if it is quite a lot of people. In saying this, how can you improve your ability to let people speak? Every now and then, I remind myself to just hold back. I literally have to catch myself from speaking sometimes. And I find it quite funny in hindsight because let's just say we're having a conversation about your dog and it's a toy cavoodle. And then I'd want to just burst out mid-conversation and say, "Oh." No, that's not what I would say. I don't know why I did that. But I just want to burst out and say, "I want to get a toy cavoodle. I just think they're so cute, yada, yada, yada." Anyways, that is a story for another day because I'm not going to get a toy cavoodle for a couple of years. Anyways, there will be situations where I just want to say something, but I literally have to catch myself. I go to open my mouth and I go to speak and then I remember that they're not finished. Let them finish and then say what you wanted to say. Now, this will take time, especially given the nature and the amount of time that we spend messaging people on our devices, where we have the ability to have 5 different conversations at once. we need to remember that face-to-face communication, even by just calling someone, it is harder, so much harder to have 5 conversations at the same time. And I think people don't really keep this in mind, which is why we have that tendency to jump in, even when someone isn't finished talking. So developing this skill is key to improving your emotional intelligence. And it is another stepping stone from everything else that you've understood so far. Everything that you've been able to apply to yourself from my videos previously. Now, I think it's important to mention that anything that I have mentioned, and in the order that I have mentioned it, might not work for you. You might think that some things are better to learn first than others. Like, for example, you might think that, yes, self-awareness is important. However, the journaling aspect is still something that will take a bit of time. So while you're developing that skill, you want to improve your ability to just let people speak. And by letting people speak, you're actually able to improve your emotional intelligence while still building that self-awareness through your journaling. And all of these things, you'll find they just supplement each other. And they help build that muscle and build your emotional intelligence. And ultimately deepen your connection with people. And I think that is something that has been lost, our ability to really connect with other people. And that's something that once I started trying to improve, I have found so much joy in being able to communicate with other people. Because at the end of the day, a missed conversation with someone that you've never met before could either be a missed opportunity to meet the love of your life, a friend for life, or just an interesting person that you never would have thought you would be able to connect with. At the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all people. And I think that especially social media and devices have just stripped us of that ability to be able to connect with people. So to wrap things up, let people speak. Just try for the next week. Just try to let people speak. Wait till they're done. And if they don't stop, well, then that's probably just not the person for you. Because there are some people who just don't stop. And it can be quite difficult sometimes to get your point across, especially if you find that you have something really interesting to say, or you have something to add to the conversation, yet they just keep talking and talking and talking. And it can just get really frustrating. So another key thing is to have patience. You need to be patient because, like everything, it will take time. And having these conversations with people, even the ones who don't stop talking, helps you build that muscle, build that patience muscle. It's like going to the gym and consistently over a long period of time. Yes, you are going to see results. And it's that delayed gratification that helps supplement improving your emotional intelligence. So for the next week, just try to listen to people and let them speak. See how you go. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you next week for the next step to improving your emotional intelligence. Stay consistent. It will take time. You know this. And as always, change starts with you.